Hello and welcome to a HiCAD short clip. This video is about the new options for ALUCOBOND tray panels SZ20 as well as the suspended ALUCOBOND, the substructure for both tray panels and the linking of substructures to element installations. First we have a look at the SZ20 tray panel and create an element installation as usual. We get a tray panel from the catalog and, for instance, we can define the attics, then the connections, and finally the facet. Let us now have a look at the first new feature of the 2019 version. We added this via dialog by clicking on Feature. And for example, take the window connection parapet, where the parameters can be adjusted. In this case, HiCAD automatically inserts and adjusts an additional angular fixing bracket as support for the substructure. We will see how this is being processed accordingly later. Now we show the sketch for the substructure, select a corresponding substructure for our SZ20 tray panel, and up here in the area of attics we see that the substructure has been set higher. This is now adjusted accordingly for the linking of element installation to substructure. Here we select both objects and see by means of these points how the linking is being established. In the next step we see that the linking was established. There we can see the processing on the profiles. There we have the bores on each profile, and we also have larger holes on the Z profiles. The wall bracket will be available as of Service Pack 1. By looking at the attics above, we see that the substructure was adjusted. As already mentioned, the processing also considered the angular fixing bracket of the window connection parapet. Also here the respective bores were applied, also on the top head beam. Okay, so much for the SZ20 tray panel. Let us now have a look at the suspended tray panel. Again, we select a grid, get a suspended tray panel from the catalog, and create an element installation as done before. We define the attics and the connections. By the way, also colors can be used. Now, what's interesting in this case, as soon as we've applied it, we see that for the created sketch an offset was defined, which also affects the suspended tray panels, which shifted in this case. What's new here is that the processing is also adjusted to the substructure. In this area we would also define a window connection, include a level of detail, and via extended settings we can define a clearance for condensation. Now we can see all parameters we defined on this tray panel, including the clearance. In the next step we would create the substructure via catalog as done before and have a look at it afterwards. Now, by zooming in, we can see here that both the substructure and elements installation collide. However, in the next step, we will link both elements. And by doing so, we can see the processing by means of these points again. We can also see the subtractions in the profiles here. We can see that the sets have been placed accordingly, and by displaying the entire drawing, we can see that the studs are really suspended because they lock the graph properly. With all this, a steady linking of substructure and element installation was created. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.